making headlines this hour. President Dr. Mohammad Muiz launches the Diamond Jubilee commemorative book and inaugurated the new official website of the Attorney General's office at a ceremony marking its 75th anniversary. The Attorney General's office AGO marks its 75th anniversary with a formal ceremony in the capital where President Dr. Mohammad Muiz presented awards to the longest-serving employees, underscoring the state's enduring commitment to its legal institutions. And the Ministry of Tourism and Environment invites bids for the development and operation of a tourist resort in Kashido Lagoon, Male Atoll. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to PSM News in English with me, Hafiz Abd Sattar. Now the news in detail. President Dr. Mohammad Muiz launches the Diamond Jubilee commemorative book and inaugurated the new official website of the Attorney General's office at a ceremony marking its 75th anniversary. The new website is designed to improve access to information and services through the use of modern technology. The most notable feature of the new website is the introduction of an artificial intelligence tool that provides legal information. This marks the first use of an AI on a state institution's website in the Maldives. The AG office noted while the AI chat function is still in its early stages, that it continues to learn rapidly. The President also commended the use of an AI system in the website. During the ceremony, the President also presented awards to staff members who have served the Attorney General's office for more than 20 years. Employees who had served between 15 and 20 years were also recognized with their awards presented by the Attorney General Ahmad Usham. Attorney General Usham also presented a commemorative plaque to the President on behalf of the Attorney General's office to mark the occasion. The ceremony was attended by senior officials from the People's Majlis and the judiciary, together with former Attorney Generals and a large number of past and present staff of the Attorney General's office. The President also took part in the commemorative photo session held to mark the 75th anniversary of the Attorney General's office. The Attorney General's office AGO marks its 75th anniversary with a formal ceremony in the capital where President Dr. Mohammad Muiz presented awards to the longest-serving employees, underscoring the state's enduring commitment to its legal institutions. The event conveyed former attorneys general, current staff and prominent figures from the legal community and served as a platform for Attorney General Ahmad Usham to articulate a renewed institutional vision grounded in transparency, accountability and constitutional independence. Recognition was extended to 36 individuals for their long-term service to the AGO. Awards were categorized by tenure. 22 employees were honored for 15 to 20 years of service, 5 for 20 to 25 years, and 9 for more than 25 years. President Muiz presented awards to the 7 longest-serving staff members, while Attorney General Usham conferred honors upon the remaining recipients. Those recognized held a range of roles, including administrative personnel, support staff, human resources officers, computer technicians, directors, and procurement specialists. The ceremony also paid tribute to the memory of former employees who had served the office and have since passed away. In his address, Attorney General Usham reflected on the AGO's institutional evolution, describing its formal establishment as a distinct entity as a pivotal development in the country's legal architecture. He positioned the office as central to the advancement of a legal framework anchored in integrity and public trust. The adoption of the 2008 Constitution, Usham noted, marked a turning point in the AGO's mandate. He added that the office has continued to adapt to the evolving needs of the society and the increasing complexities of governance. Attorney General Usham also addressed the Attorney General's Office Act, describing it as essential to strengthening the office's administrative structure, clarifying its mandate and securing its independence as envisioned by the Constitution. He acknowledged that despite its importance, the law has yet to be fully implemented due to various constraints. Turning to the present administration, Attorney General Usham commended President Muiz's leadership for advancing the AGO's autonomy. He went on to clarify that the AGO's remit extends beyond the provision of legal counsel to the government. Its role, he said, is instrumental in ensuring the full and effective operation of all branches of the state. He noted engagements with these institutions are not merely procedural, but serve to reinforce the democratic fabric. Attorney General Usham reiterated the AGO's responsibility to safeguard the rights and freedoms of the Maldivian people, affirming its commitment to institutional integrity, responsiveness, and legal robustness. In closing, Attorney General Usham described the AGO as more than a legal institution. It stands, he said, as a symbol of the nation's enduring commitment to justice, fairness, equality, and the rule of law. As the AGO enters its 76th year, he called for continued vigilance in upholding these foundational principles and serving the Maldivian public with honor and integrity. Former President Mohamed Nasheed voices support for President Dr. Mohamed Muiz's proposal to amend the constitution and reduce privileges afforded to former presidents. Under existing laws, past presidents and members of the parliament enjoy various privileges, which has drawn frequent public criticism due to the burden on the state. The government has announced plans to revise these provisions and cut back on some of the allowances granted. In a social media post, Nasheed stated that he supports lowering the pensions paid to former heads of state. Nasheed wrote, quote, "I also see a reduction in the amount of pensions for former presidents is a good step," unquote. According to the Privileges and Protection for Former Presidents Act, a president who has served one term receives a monthly allowance of $3,343, while those who have served more than one term are entitled to $4,864 per month. In addition, the state must provide up to $3,243 per month for residential expenses and up to $11,349 monthly to fund an office, staff and facilities for social or public work if required. These costs are paid from the state budget every year. At present, $1.27 million has been included in the budget for former presidents' allowances. This number will continue to rise with each new term. The former presidents currently entitled to state benefits are Ibrahim Muhammad Solih, Maumun Abdul Qayyum, Abdullah Yamin, Muhammad Nasheed, and Dr. Muhammad Wahid Hassan Manik. The Ministry of Tourism and Environment invites bids for the development and operation of a tourist resort in Kashido Lagoon, Male Atoll. The Ministry of Tourism said the proposed project involves the development of a resort in Kashido Lagoon through dredging, part of the 115.21 hectares lagoon. The resort will be developed on 10 hectares of area. The resort developed at the location must have a minimum of 100 beds. The project is a presidential pledge of President Dr. Mohamed Muiz, and both local and foreign companies are eligible to participate in the bid. The deadline for submission of bids is by 1300 hours on 20th November. The application form for the purchase of the tender documents is available on the Tourism Ministry's website and can also be collected from the Ministry's reception between 900 hours and 1300 hours on working days from 14th September to 19th November. The Ministry of Tourism will hold 2 meetings to provide information to interested parties. The first meeting is scheduled to be held online on 24th September, followed by a second session on 21st October. The government reaffirms its commitment to decentralization, describing the system as a framework through which citizens can shape and implement development in alignment with their collective aspirations. Minister of Cities, Local Government and Public Works Adam Sharif Umar addressed the matter during a ceremony in Maafushi Cafe Toll, where a newly constructed sand barge was inaugurated to support beach nourishment efforts. He characterized decentralization as a people-led governance model, enabling communities to work directly with government institutions to meet local needs. The sand barge, developed through the Maafushi Local Authority Company Limited, was presented as a milestone in the country's decentralization efforts. Minister Adam Sharif highlighted the importance of financially empowering island councils, a policy championed by President Dr. Mohamed Muiz and identified by the minister as a successful example of this strategy in practice. This initiative marks one of the first instances in which an island has independently secured funding through its own mechanisms to undertake critical development works. Minister Adam Sharif described the achievement as historic, expressing renewed optimism for the decentralized system and its capacity to enable communities to drive their own progress. Across the country, councils are increasingly pursuing financial autonomy. Minister Adam Sharif affirmed that the decentralized framework is broadly beneficial, irrespective of the governing administration, and enjoys widespread public support throughout the country. The inauguration ceremony drew senior officials from the city's ministry and the Member of Parliament for Maafushi and representatives of the Maafushi Council. Minister Adam Sharif commended the community's efforts, attributing the sand barge project to the diligence and initiative of Maafushi's residents and extended his congratulations to the island's population. Maafushi Council President Hassan Salah outlined the barge's primary function to mitigate beach erosion and enhance the island's coastline through nourishment works. He expressed confidence that Maafushi would soon feature some of the most attractive swimming beaches in the country, a goal that the council remains committed to achieving. Minister Adam Sharif echoed his vision, noting that the sand barge offers a critical solution to Maafushi's persistent coastal erosion challenges. In addition to its immediate purpose, the council anticipates deploying the barge for a range of other development projects. These initiatives are viewed by the government as instrumental in improving the quality of life for residents and advancing the island's economic and social well-being. Nestle investors calls for Chairman Paul Bulc to step down over the departure of a second chief executive in just over a year.
Shareholders told the dismissal of former Chief Executive Laurent Ferxe and the way investigations into his conduct were handled had exacerbated their concerns over governance at Nestle and led them to question Bulc's decision-making. Nestle did not immediately respond to a media request for comment. The Swiss food giant abruptly dismissed Ferxe at the beginning of September for failing to disclose a romantic relationship with a subordinate. Ferxe's removal came a year after predecessor Schneider suddenly departed and 2.5 months after Bulc said he would step down next year. A Nestle spokesperson told the Financial Times the two CEO departures were unrelated and that Ferxe's conduct was a clear breach of its code of conduct. Bulc, a 70-year-old Belgian and Swiss national who has been chairman of the board since April 2017, joined Nestle in 1979 and served as the company's CEO from 2008 to 2016. Support for bulk has been ebbing away due to doubts about Nestlé's recovery after the pandemic, investors told media in July, with sales volumes at the world's largest maker of packaged food flagging in 2023 as it increased prices to offset rising raw material costs. In April, Bulk was re-elected with 84.8% of the vote, a substantial drop from the nearly 96% he received in 2017.
NATO announces plans to beef up the defense of Europe's eastern flank 2 days after Poland shot down drones that had violated its airspace in the first known action of its kind by a member of the Western Alliance during Russia's war with Ukraine.
Warsaw has portrayed the drone incursions as an attempt by Russia to test the capabilities of Poland and NATO to respond. Earlier on 12 September, it rejected U.S. President Donald Trump's suggestion that the incursions could have been a mistake.
What happened on Wednesday was not an isolated incident. Russia's recklessness in the air along our eastern flank is increasing in frequency. We have seen drones violate our airspace in Romania, Estonia, Latvia and Lithuania. Whether intentional or not, it is dangerous and unacceptable.
Russia said its forces had been attacking Ukraine at the time of the drone incursions and that it had not intended to hit any targets in Poland. The mission, which began on the evening of 12 September, will involve a range of assets integrating air and ground bases.
I have issued the order tonight for Eastern Sentry to begin. The order went out as this press conference began, and so operations are being brought together immediately underneath my authorities as SACEUR.
Rutte added, allies including Denmark, France, Britain and Germany have so far committed to the mission, with others set to join. The United Nations Security Council was set to meet on Friday at Poland's request to discuss the incident.
Credit rating agency Fitch downgrades France's sovereign credit score to the country's lowest level on record, stripping the Eurozone's second-largest economy of its AA- status as it grapples with a political crisis and ballooning debt.
The move, bringing Fitch's score to A+, heaps pressure on Prime Minister Sébastien Lecornu just days into the job as he scrambles to form a cabinet and draft a 2026 budget that can pass a deeply divided parliament. Fitch said the rating, the lowest on record for a major credit rating agency, has a stable outlook for future moves. Analysts said the downgrade was already priced into markets. But the timing of the move is awkward for France and underlines growing investor concerns over its ability to rein in its budget deficit, now the highest in the Eurozone. President Emmanuel Macron this week tapped Lecornu, a conservative loyalist, to form a government after lawmakers ousted veteran centrist François Bayrou in a confidence vote over his plans for a $52 billion U.S. budget squeeze. Lecornu became Macron's fifth prime minister in less than 2 years and faces a near-impossible task to pass a slimmed-down budget through parliament, ordeals that led to the defenestration of France's last two prime ministers. Fitch's downgrade to an A+ score is more consequential than recent downgrades, as it could press its peers to follow suit, potentially leading to forced selling of French bonds by investors bound by rating thresholds. French debt has come under pressure since Bayrou called the confidence vote last month, driving borrowing costs close to those of Italy, which carries the Eurozone's second highest debt burden and a much lower credit rating. France's downgrade to A+ is unlikely to pressure its major banks, with BNP Paribas and Crédit Agricole already rated A+, and Société Générale a notch lower by Fitch.
Manager Ruben Amorim says Manchester United's Alte Wenger keeps his place in goal for Sunday's derby at Manchester City, ahead of a new signing, San Lamens.
United's former first-choice goalkeeper Andre Onana, who endured a turbulent spell at Old Trafford, completed a loan move to Turkish side Trabzonspor. The deal followed United's deadline day signing of Lemons, 23, from Royal Antwerp for $24.64 million.
We are really pleased. He's a goalkeeper with a lot of potential. I know that we are in the moment that the goalkeeper needs to be really strong and have a lot of experience. But we are also in the moment that we have to look at the present, but also with a focus on the future. So it's a little bit both. A guy with a great potential. That is one more option to play, and it will be ready.
Turkey international Bayındır, 27, has started all three of United's Premier League games this season, while the 29-year-old Onana only played once. In United's shock second-round League Cup loss to fourth-tier Grimsby Town in a penalty shootout after the sides drew 2-2. Onana was at fault for Grimsby's 2 goals. During United's league opener against visitors Arsenal, Bayındır misjudged Declan Rice's 13th-minute corner, palming it into the line for Ricardo Calafiori to head in.
It's a different league, it's a different country, different trainings, different ball. So we'll try to maintain that, and they will fight for the position. So for me, for this game, it's clear Altay will start.
Amorim also explained why United chose Lemons over Aston Villa's Emi Martinez. Amorim confirmed new signing Matheus Cunha, who also played all 4 games in all competitions for United, will miss the derby through injury, as will Mason Mount and Diogo Dalot.
Argentine researchers unveils a new species of a carnivorous crocodile from southern Patagonia, a robust, mostly terrestrial predator that lived about 70 million years ago and likely hunted small to medium-sized dinosaurs.
Named Costenseuchus atrox, the animal belonged to the extinct Parasauridae family and was discovered near El Calafate in Santa Cruz province by a team led by paleontologists Fernando Novas and Diego Paul in collaboration with Japanese researchers. The researchers said the specimen includes an exceptionally preserved and nearly complete skull approximately 50 centimeters, 20 inches long, along with much of the skeleton. He described it as a predator with enormous teeth and said the team assumes it preyed on dinosaurs. With a skull nearly 50 centimeters long and a total body length exceeding 10 feet, Costenseuchus was likely an apex predator capable of taking a wide range of prey. Its skull was unusually short, broad and robust compared to close relatives. The snout was wide and heavily built, bearing more than 50 sharp teeth, some over 2 inches long, with serrated, blade-like edges adapted for slicing through muscle tissue. A deep lower jaw indicates powerful bite muscles, a feature the authors say supports its role as a dominant predator in the late Cretaceous Patagonia. Novas contrasted Costenseuchus with modern aquatic crocodilians, noting the high skull, side-facing eyes, and forward-oriented nostrils indicate a more terrestrial lifestyle. Researchers say the discovery adds to evidence that crocodiles in Cretaceous South America filled a wide range of ecological niches before the mass extinction 66 million years ago that wiped out non-avian dinosaurs and many marine animals.
And that's all we have for this hour. Thank you for watching. Wish you all a very pleasant time ahead.